Greeting fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to an education session by District 126, Yoodli, your AI speech coach by Toastmaster Cajetan Barretto. I am your Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Gunjan and I welcome you to this session. I would like to begin by stating the district's mission of Toastmasters International. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Some rules to be respected during the session. All attendees must mute their audios at all times unless instructed otherwise by the moderator. Do not share your screen unless asked by the host. If your internet allows you, please keep your videos on to help to make the session more interactive. However, kindly refrain from the movements that distract the speaker. In case you need to move, please turn off your video before doing so. Please help me welcome our district's public relation manager, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri Asadani. Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri has been a Toastmaster since 2017 and has served in several leadership roles in District 98 and now is serving as the DPRM of District 126. Over to you, DTM Mayuri.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Gunjan. One second, let me replace the spotlight. Sandeep, you'll have to help me with replacing, please. Yeah, there you are. Thank you, Toastmaster Gunjan, for starting that on a very enthusiastic note, and greetings from District 126 to all Toastmasters present. A very warm welcome to everyone present for this very special session on Yoodli and AI-powered speech coach, something that we all really need today. I would like to invite our Program Quality Director, who is incidentally also in the room, despite the rain in his town, for a very quick welcome address. Toastmaster Sandeep. Sandeep, are you there? Can I spotlight you?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, for that warm introduction and kind welcome. I see there is a glitch in my camera. It's
yes, there is.
Yeah. So I will go ahead still. Firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for this wonderful initiative of bringing someone who is an expert and he himself as the brand ambassador of Yoodli. And next, I will move on and invite and also welcome our trainer for today, Cajetan Barretto.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
If I'm pronouncing correctly, apologies if I did it wrongly. So if you see the Sergeant at Arms Gunjan traveling, and as mentioned by Toastmaster Mayuri, people joining in spite of power cuts and rain, that itself showcases how enthusiastically our District 126 members are waiting to learn about the very, very crucial and interesting AI initiative of Toastmasters International. So this is a very brand new concept which the entire technology world is getting influenced by, and we are very glad that Toastmasters International is bringing to our rescue. And as I already mentioned, the brand ambassador himself is with us today to take us through this wonderful AI initiative. So on the behalf of District 126 entire leadership team and the members of District 126, we thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and your knowledge, expertise on this new AI tool and initiative. So thank you so much. And if possible, and if opportunity is provided to us, we would love to have you again and again in our District 126 initiatives. I wish we will have a wonderful session and you will have a great opportunity of learnings and networking today. With this, I'll pass on the virtual stage back to our District Public Relations Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. It is very clear that you have some technical glitches at your end. Probably it's going to be raining even further, but thank you so much. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of a number of district officers here from District 126, but also we have members from across districts. Thank you so much for joining us. It is almost 8 p.m. plus in Indian time zone, so it could be at different time zones in your parts of the world. Thank you for joining us today. And I will not take any more time and allow me to welcome our trainer today. So to tell you about our trainer, Cajetan Barretto, and trust me, I had to ask him for the pronunciation and I hope I get it right. Cajetan Barretto, Distinguished Toastmaster, is a certified trainer, public speaker, behavioral assessor, and of course, a passionate Toastmaster. He works as a group manager, project management office at AI Sayer Holding based in Kuwait. Cajetan joined Toastmasters in August 2017 and in a very short period has completed from the previous educational program CC, CL, that's 4 times, ALB, he has been a club sponsor, he has been a club mentor, he has already completed 5 paths under the new program Pathways, and he is currently pursuing his path number 6. Cajetan, you impressed me enormously. He has served as club president, as vice president education, area director, and also as division director for District 20, which serves Kuwait and Bahrain. Cajetan achieved the distinguished Toastmaster status in the year 2020, and he was also awarded the prestigious District Toastmaster of the Year during the term 2018-2019. Cajetan, it is my delight, my honor, my pleasure, and more above everything else, a privilege to have you as the trainer for Yoodli. I do not know much about Yoodli. I would directly hand it over to you. Welcome, and over to you.
Thank you, DTM Mayuri. I hope I can maintain the high standards that you have set up for me. I'm currently delivering this workshop from Kuwait, thanks to the wonders of technology and to a large extent helped by COVID, where we saw this digital transformation, especially in Toastmasters, where we could reach across districts and deliver this kind of educational sessions. I'm originally from Goa, India, and I will be there next week. So, as mentioned, I am a Yoodli ambassador. What does that mean? It means I like the product and I like talking about it. That's all it means. And that's what I'm going to do today. So let's jump into the session. As mentioned, my name is Cajetan Barretto, and you have pronounced it perfectly, DTM Mayuri. I am a distinguished Toastmaster with the new Pathways program. I did it twice, and then I said, that's enough. More than 2 DTM doesn't seem to make any more sense. So now I use my skills to deliver workshops like this. As mentioned, do keep your microphones muted unless you want to speak. Use the speaker view, and I would love to have this as an interactive session. So first of all, I would love to see your queries in the chat, and I would love to see the video, because sometimes what happens is, I don't know if you're enjoying my session or no. So if you're not, and I see you all, let's say, yawning away, I know it's time to change and maybe ask you a question. That's how I like to have these sessions. And also it will be quite interactive. I want you all to participate and see how AI might help you. And I'll explain what I mean by that. This is Toastmasters. We always ensure that safety is our first priority. So make sure that you are in a safe surrounding. So I have 3 learning objectives today. I will be introducing you to Yoodli. If you have already used Yoodli, that's fine, but I will show you the different ways we can use Yoodli. It's not just for one thing, it can be used for multiple things. AI is the new norm for us. I want to see you all to see Yoodli in action. And what I'm going to do is I'll be spending 15 minutes giving you a table topic, and it's not really a table topic. You'll have enough time to prepare. In fact, I will give you the question that I will be asking at least 4 to 5 of you all to share. And the question will be very simple. How has Toastmasters helped you to improve your public speaking? Or how has Toastmasters helped you to become a better communicator? That's the question for you all to mull over. And during this session of Yoodli in action, I want you all to share 1 to 2 minutes your aspect or your opinion about this topic, and we will see what the AI has to say about that. Okay, so we will see it in action, and that will give you that moment, wow, it might really be useful, rather than just talking about it. And then there will be a wrap up. and a Q&A session. So this is what I have in mind. I hope you are all fine with my agenda. If not, yawn away and I'll have to think of something else. So what is Yoodli? So Yoodli is your personalized speech coach. And what do I mean by that? I think the biggest challenge that we have is that we always want to deliver an impactful speech or a presentation. But the challenge that we always face is, how do we practice? And that's why, first of all, Toastmasters exists. Toastmasters gives you that safe and supportive environment to practice what you want to present. And we've been doing this for decades. But in reality, we get very few opportunities depending on how many clubs you belong to. If you just belong to one club, how much time do you get? Maybe once a month, an opportunity to practice a real speech. Maybe if your club is big, maybe once every 2 months. But the more we practice, the more we can improve. So why not use AI to do that? So that is the whole idea behind this. My wife is a champion speaker. She just won an international speech and evaluation at division, and she will be representing Kuwait in the district in May. And she keeps practicing. She practices a lot, but she practices by herself. And if you practice yourself in front of a mirror, what kind of feedback are you going to get? You'll get maybe that your speech, how much time have you taken? And that's about it. If you record that speech, maybe you can listen to it, but you are evaluating it by yourself. Correct? She is kind of lucky because I am there and I am kind of a good evaluator. So I ask her to give the speech in front of me. But being a husband, I also have to be quite careful about what kind of feedback I give her, because at the end of the day, she's my wife. So AI comes to the rescue where you can keep practicing and keep getting feedback. How do we do that? And you can get it 24/7, anytime. So some of the core benefits of Yoodli, similar to what Grammarly has done for writing, is it can count your filler words because it uses AI and it can define and understand what are filler words, and as you speak, it will count and immediately it will give you that objective data. Even in a Toastmaster meeting, the R counter might have missed many R's and ums, correct? But not the AI. It will give you that you have used the 10 times or 5 times, and already you have a coach helping you to reduce your filler words. What about pacing? Pacing is something that humans cannot do so easily. And I will ask my wife to share her aspect of pacing, because when we speak, sometimes we don't know whether we are speaking too fast or too slow. Even as evaluators, we might be evaluating all aspects of a speaker. What is the story? Did it have a good start, good end? But what about the pace? How many words per minute did you speak? And what's the norm? We will see how we can do that. Eye contact is a big challenge for us, especially when we are speaking online. And so it will basically count and give you objective data, how you are doing in terms of your eye contact. And eye contact, as you all know, is all about looking into the camera, into your webcam, instead of looking down on the screen. And it's very hard for us to do. It takes practice, right? But with this objective data, it will say 50% of the time you were looking at the camera. Now, how about making it 60%? Humans wouldn't be able to give you that kind of data to act upon, and lots more. So these are some of the things that you can use in Yoodli. I love this one, where once you record the speech, it will give you instant transcript. What do I mean by that? It will transcribe for you whatever you have spoken. And for most of us, especially in this side of the world, where English is not our primary language, it's a second language. And so we speak with an accent. And so you will get an assessment of how good is your English in terms of translating it into words. It might tell you that you are speaking certain words in a way that the system cannot understand. And if it means that the others cannot understand, if the AI cannot understand, most likely the global audience might not be able to understand. The local audience might, because that's how we speak. But what about the global audience? If you want to be a global speaker, it means you should be speaking in a way that the global audience are able to understand what you're saying. It gives you a summary of your speech, the key points, and this will help you to understand whether your speech has strong opening, it has a good body and a good closing. The summary will do that, and it's all done using AI. And it has a beautiful option called follow-up questions. I will give you an example of that in the demo, where it can, suppose you're preparing for an interview, it will ask you a question, and based on the response that you give, it will analyze that and ask you a relevant follow-up question from your responses. And that is really cool. And then there is something called fun games like table topics and so forth. Toastmasters, of course, as you know, has a direct collaboration with Yoodli. If you go to your home page, your profile section, once you log in, you'll find the big tile there called Yoodli. And if you go there, then you will be able to practice table topics given to you by the AI. So if you love table topics, go and practice and get feedback. You can collaborate with friends, which means after you speak, deliver your speech in Yoodli, click a share button like how we do in WhatsApp or in Facebook, give the name of your friend and the speech will go to them. And they can directly give you feedback on your speech, and you will receive that feedback. So you can collaborate. You can give your speech to multiple mentors, and all of them can listen, give feedback, and say, "Hey, you're speaking too slowly here," or "You're speaking too fast," or "Change this sentence to something else." So it's a great tool, especially now with tech-savvy potential members. You can now show them that join Toastmasters, you will get access to Yoodli, and it will help you to practice your speeches. And this is how it looks, where once you give a speech, as I told you, it can give you a transcript of whatever is spoken. So this is an example of a speech given by Elon Musk. And as we know, or at least those of you who have listened to Musk, he's not very good as a public speaker. He uses too many crutch words. So as you can see, all the purple ums or us that he has used are highlighted. And the AI recommends to him how to become effective as a communicator, not as a financer or somebody who knows how to make money because he's the richest person in the world. So maybe he doesn't need to be a good communicator, but he's an exception. We will give him a pass. This is the founder of Yoodli. By the way, if the district trio is in the house, please feel free to reach out to Varun Puri, and he is looking forward to doing something along with us or with him and his team, coming to the district, giving some workshops, keynotes, especially in the upcoming conferences. We are all looking forward to using this opportunity to show Yoodli what it is all about. And especially if you are looking for evaluations, it will give you things that you have done well, things that you could do better, what are the filler words that you have used, and so forth. There is a fun section called, which has different kinds of games. So what they have done is they have gamified to make it more interesting and fun. And one of my favorite games is the no filler game, where I start the game and then I can keep speaking, let's say for 1 minute, and it will tell me whether I spoke for 1 minute without using any filler word, or whether I used one filler word or two filler words. And the objective is to speak for longer and longer and complete that whatever you were saying as a story without using filler words. These are some of the testimonials from different Toastmasters. All the public, we call them world champion of public speaking. Most of them are part of the Yoodli team to help improve, become better. And so Mark Brown, Craig, Ed Tate, these are all the champions. They're part of the Yoodli team. And you can find Yoodli and its collaboration and coverage in different, of course, Toastmasters, you must have all received the email about the collaboration. But if you go to Forbes or Wall Street Journal, these are some of the articles that have published about the innovation of Yoodli. And as Toastmasters, we have it for us as free. So signing up as of now, it's free. You can just go to yoodli.ai. But if you're already a Toastmaster, then you don't have to go to Yoodli. It is there in your Toastmaster profile. So there are two ways to do that. Maybe at somewhere down the line, the Yoodli.ai would become paid because you cannot run such a service free of cost, but the Toastmasters will be always there for us as free. And there is a community called yoodli.ai/community. I'll post all these links for you all to join at the end of the session, but that is what Yoodli is all about. What I'm going to do now is let us do the how am I doing on time?
We are good. We are good, Cajetan. Even if we are really good. Please do carry on.
Because now I want to go into the interactive part of it. I've spoken all I could speak about the features of Yoodli, but you would like to see it, right? And you would like to see how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
Right. Let me remove this part and let me remove the. Okay, so I hope you can see my desktop.
Yes, we can.
And your videos on would help me because I can see who's engaged, who's interested. And I did tell you that in the beginning that I would like you all to talk about your experience of Toastmasters and how it has helped you in improving your communication skills. One of the ways we can leverage Yoodli, and this is, as I said, we can use Yoodli many ways, is to bring Yoodli into a Zoom meeting so that whatever we say in the Zoom meeting can be analyzed by AI tool. The way we do that is, let's say this is my Yoodli. Let me remove this here. Okay, so this is app.yoodli.ai. You come here and you can sign in or sign up. But also, as I mentioned, if you're a Toastmaster, I'll show you both ways you can access Yoodli. If you log in, there is a slight difference between both the versions. I will be using this version today because it has a little more features than the Toastmaster one. So if you're in Toastmaster, your profile, and you scroll down like this, where you do your base camp, your club member management, your meeting tools, and then you will find Yoodli here. All you have to do is click Yoodli and you will be directly taken to Yoodli. So this is the Toastmasters version. where you have on the top, you can see here, record. You can record your speech, you can record a table topics, or you can record an interview. Okay, and you can have a library of all your past speeches that you can open and review them, or you can start with a new one. And as I mentioned, there is a game section. You click on games and you can play the no filler game, or you can play a spin a yarn or metaphor mania. The free version, the public version as we call it, is slightly different but has the similar ideas. Again, we can click here, record. And I think I might like to move this here, this way, so that you can see the screen properly. I think this is better because now you can see the word record and you can see speech, interview, or Zoom call. So Zoom call is something that is not available in Toastmaster version, but I'm going to show you how it works now. So if I click on Yoodli for Zoom, right? And here I have a link. This is the link of the meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here in my meeting section. Just let me expand it a little bit. And here under the participants, we get this option, copy invite link in Zoom, right? Or the same link that you share in WhatsApp, the same link. You copy the link and I will paste the link here and say invite the Zoom bot. So it is now trying to join our meeting. And soon I will find in the waiting room the Zoom bot. So let's see where it has reached. Can you see on your screen now in Zoom? There is a guy. There is something called Cajetan's Yoodli, and it has sent a chat message to everyone saying that, hey, there is Cajetan is using Yoodli to get AI-powered insight on their communication skills. Why is it saying that? Why has it sent this message to everybody? For privacy reasons, because whatever is happening now in this meeting is getting recorded. How cool is that? Okay, so let me hide the participants and the chat and move it on the corner. So in Yoodli, I can see it has started the recording. Now what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to ask you to share your thoughts on Toastmasters. So who would like to start first? The question was already given to you all. Okay, our program quality director is going to share with us how Toastmasters has helped him to improve his communication skills or public speaking skills, followed by division F, DTM. Okay, so Sandeep, I will not time you or anything like that. Just generally give 1 to 2 minutes of your thoughts. Go.
Sure, definitely. So initially when I joined Toastmasters, I always used to get scared when I get on stage. The fear of this subject, what I'm going to speak for next few minutes. But gradually when I kept joining Toastmasters meeting and attempting table topics, I was very comfortable in talking on any given topic. So I take breathe, organize my thoughts, whatever comes into my mind, I structurize it, and I make sure that I add value to whatever I'm going to speak for the next few minutes by making sure that the subject connects with the audience and the context given to me. So over the period of time, Toastmasters has helped me to give impromptu speeches, no matter what of the context or the event or in this setup of audience I'm into. So it made me a better impromptu speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Next one was, let me see, who was it?
It was me, Cajetan, Gokul here.
Gokul, go ahead.
So I joined Toastmasters for a particular reason. I was not having problem with communication skills, but my problem was I was talking too fast and I was talking a lot of out of context. So when I had a chance to attend a Toastmasters meeting, I came to know that this forum can help me to understand what to talk and how to talk and how to make sure that I can get audience attention. And that resulted in me getting noticed in my workplace because I was just a developer and a support analyst at my workplace. But because I started going to the Toastmasters meetings, getting to know people, so my circle of influence, which was just 2 to 3 people, increased to 10, 15, 20, 25. And slowly, I was able to understand how to speak slowly, what to speak so that I can make an impact with an audience. So slowly and steadily, I started to get more friends, and that impacted me in actually joining another Toastmasters club, made me confident enough to actually mentor that club in my own community. So Toastmasters has given a lot for me, and now it's time for me to give it back. So that's what Toastmasters has given me as a platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Gokul. I see Vaishnavi is all ready to go next. Go ahead, please. Tell us how Toastmasters has helped you.
Greetings, everyone. I am Toastmaster Vaishnavi, and I'm in my university right now. In the first year of my university, a professor of mine informed me that Toastmasters is a platform that would give me a stage to talk and an audience to listen. And that pretty much excited me. But then I noticed a problem that I had so many thoughts in my mind, but I failed to articulate them properly to my audience. I had so much in my mind, but I never got an opportunity to structure them well. And Toastmasters is a place which taught me how to properly analyze, structure, and articulate my thoughts so that my audience would understand it in a better way. I would say my mentor helped me a lot in this particular journey of mine, and Toastmasters is the reason why I can talk very clearly and people can actually understand what is going on in my head. So I would say Toastmasters helped me to become a better communicator. And I do not have to mention about the networking that I'm doing in Toastmasters, and I'm pretty sure it will help me once I graduate from my university. So this is how Toastmasters helped me. Thank you.
Brilliant. I think that speaks loudly of the benefits. I have 2 more volunteers who are willing to talk. Mayuri, go ahead. And then next, Imran.
Yeah. So hi, good evening. My reason for joining Toastmasters was very different. For the last 26 years, I've been teaching French. So French comes to my brain and my mind more appropriately. And I used to struggle communicating in English, making complete sentences and using words. I had to consciously make an effort to come back to English, and which was my primary reason when I joined Toastmasters. And I was told that I speak too fast. My audience are left dumbfounded because I've already gone way past while they're still absorbing my previous sentences. So Toastmasters has helped me slow down actually and pace my words. At least I hope so. The AI will tell me. And yes, getting back to English is something that I'm happy I did eventually.
Fantastic. And Imran, you are the last because we need to now see what AI has to say about these amazing speeches that we are hearing today. It might have a tough time, but let's see. Imran, yours turn.
Greetings, everyone. Toastmaster helped me a lot. It just not improved me as a public speaker, but it helped me to groom as a person. I'm very newbie in Toastmaster. I just joined 6 months ago. But when I first joined, I was all over the place. Don't know how to control my energy, how to channelize my energy, how to conduct myself to other. But it helps me to groom as a public speaker and as a person. Now I know what to talk, how to talk, and how much to talk. And it helped. DTM Mayuri is smiling. She knows the entire background about this thing. I'm very grateful to my mentor, DTM Mayuri. She helped me to groom not just as a public speaker, but as a person. So thank you.
Fantastic. So now let's get into Yoodli and see what it has to say about all these great speeches that you have heard from all 5 of us. Let me share my screen once again. And let me bring it to the side. You will notice that it has been recording for the last 8 minutes. And what I'm going to do now is I'll stop recording. If I wanted to bring the bot, and you'll notice now in the meeting, there is no more the Cajetan's Yoodli. It's gone because I have shut it down. I can bring it back again to the same meeting by saying re-invite Yoodli bot to the current call, or in this case, I want to say done for this call. By the way, I use this whenever I am asked to do grammarian role or a counter role. These are roles that require a lot of active listening, right? I have to listen for the entire 2 hours. I cheat a little bit. I bring in the Yoodli bot and I record everything and ask it to give me a quick report. And then I will enhance it with my own thoughts and opinions. So what happens is now it has finished with this call, this 8 minutes recording. I will find it in the library. So this is the meeting. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. So we will leave it for some time and we'll give it maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It's actually almost done. But what I want to show you is this is an example of using Yoodli in a team environment where we have a Zoom meeting. But that is not its primary objective. I want to stress on that. The primary objective is you sign up to Yoodli, you click on the record button, you record your speech, and you start practicing a speech or an interview or a Zoom call. In fact, it's a great tool if there are any contestants contesting for your area or division. Trust me, this is a good tool for you to, let's say, supplement whatever you are doing with your mentors. In fact, my wife is here and she is practicing her DTAC speech now, I guess, and she uses Yoodli to do something like this. So she records the speech, and first of all, as I mentioned to you, the first thing you get is the transcript. And this transcript is very useful. Let me try to make it a little bigger so you can read it. This helps her to understand the clarity of her speech. And clarity could be due to 2 reasons. One is, of course, that due to accent and the way we speak, the AI cannot understand it correctly. The second could be you have technical problems. Maybe you have a bad microphone. And therefore, you need to understand that if your technical are not good, it means the audience will not be able to understand you also. So you may need to work upon that. But as I can see, the AI has done a pretty good job of understanding her words. This is the first part. The second part, and this is very interesting, it gives you what we call a summary. What was your speech about? And it has done it all automatically. Every speech that you give, here it will summarize and say the speaker has shared a personal story about her father. It will give you some of the items that were discussed and the take-home message that the audience can prevent Alzheimer's and other diseases by making small lifestyle changes. So this was the take-home message from her. The AI can also rephrase some of your paragraphs and say, instead of saying this, why don't you convert and change it to this? It's more effective. And so already you can ask AI to look at your speech just like how your mentor does, and make some small changes to the way you speak, the way you write, and then it becomes more effective. Secondly, if you look at the repetitions, were there any repetitions? So it has identified certain repetitions. And the good thing about it is when it identifies something, you can simply click on this button, and I'm not sure whether I shared my sound. I might have not. Let me try to share again with sound. Yeah, I might have not shared before. Increase the sound. You just click on the play instance.
My father was suffering from Alzheimer's.
So notice that it has identified repetition of that same word twice, right? Whether it was right or wrong is not a question here. It is just highlighting that there is a repetition. In this case, it might have been required. Okay. Then let's look at this.
With a speech title, Who Are You?
Okay, this was the introduction. Also, it will highlight to you the usage of filler words. There was only one filler word. You know.
Do you know anyone of who?
Okay, so it has identified some small discrepancy there. And what I like to tell at least Priscilla is to look at this area, which is called the pacing area. And one of the things that she has, at least the AI has identified, is that she speaks at a very slow rate, 107 words per minute, where most of the champions, they speak around 120, 130 words per minute. Priscilla is here. I would like her to share her thoughts on this. Priscilla, how do you think that the AI can help you improve on this area?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and part of this workshop. Yoodli has changed a lot when it came to my speeches. Well, this speech was delivered just yesterday, and I see that this rate at which I have delivered the speech is not something that will help me at DTAC. So what happened few days ago was we downloaded the speech by Mohammad Khatami, world champion of public speaking, and his speech, Words Are Powerful. We downloaded that to have a look at what does Yoodli mean by pacing your speech. And as soon as he started, I said, oh my God, there are so many pauses here. How is Yoodli saying that his pace is perfect? And that's when I understood how I need to pace. It's basically how you pace your sentences. If there is excitement, I cannot be saying, my father had Alzheimer's, but there has to be something. My father was suffering from Alzheimer's. So that where you actually frame each and every sentence at that rate will help you increase the rate of your entire speech. Pauses is yet another section. So if you see Mohammad Khatami's speech when he says to his son, hey, that's what is meant by rate or pace in a speech. And that's what I understood only after seeing his speech. And in his speech, there are so many places, there are pauses where he lights the cigarette and he holds and he waits. All that is pause, which I was not putting it together when it came to my speech. So though yesterday I delivered the speech and I've seen how I've done it, it's like an eye-opener for me. I'm trying to understand how I can do it better. So over to you.
Because when you go home and you flip on the TV and you see a scientist trying to talk about global warming, it goes something like this. Ladies and gentlemen,
so here, this is a speech I downloaded from YouTube and uploaded on Yoodli. And as you can see, the rate shows 123 words per minute. But also you notice that there were a lot of pauses in his speech. It's not like he keeps speaking, but it's the rate and the pace that if you scroll down, you can see that's how the curve is. In some places he has spoken very slowly, but most of the time he has been in this zone of, let's say, 115 to around 170. That's the zone of acceptable kind of speaking rate. So that's what it allows you to do. So you can record your own speech, you can upload your previously recorded speeches and ask AI to evaluate it. You can play games, and all of this as a Toastmaster is completely free. Also as a public, as of now, it is also completely free. So what are you waiting for? Go there and check it out. So that is as far as Yoodli is concerned. Now let us go to our hands-on, which was today's session. So it starts by giving me, so when I open this, the session that I have just recorded, I'll come to you, Dinesh. Let me just finish this first. It says review. So first of all, Program Quality Director Sandeep Raj, 57% of your sentences started with the word so. I don't know. This is what the AI is saying. I'm not saying it, okay? So don't blame me. Consider pausing longer in between sentences to sound more confident. So this has been the feedback for PQD Sandeep. Division N, I guess that was who? Let me see what it has to say for that. Rephrasing. So instead of saying going to Toastmasters meeting, help me expand my circle of influence and so forth, a rephrased version is given here. It is, let me look at that. I'll show it to you. Filler word usages 7 times. So that's your counter report in a second. Okay. And here is the summary I was talking about. What was this 8 minutes all about? Trainer Cajetan Barretto introduces Yoodli, an AI-powered tool. And this is all done automatically, by the way. Sandeep shares how Toastmasters help him become a better impromptu speaker. Gokul Narayan explained how Toastmasters helped him with speaking slowly and out of context and increased his circle of influence. Vaishnavi talks about Toastmasters teaching her how to articulate her thoughts. And Mayuri joined Toastmasters to improve her English communication skills, and it helped her to slow down and pace her words. Imran appreciates Toastmasters for improving him as a public speaker. And okay, so that's the, notice how it has summarized everything that we spoke automatically. That is a wow moment for all of us, right? I think so, at least for me. So as I was talking about this, as I scroll down, okay, so here is the part where it has asked that it can be done in a better way. Going to Toastmasters meetings help me expand my circle of influence and improve my public speaking skills. As a result, I gained more confidence, made more friends, and eventually became a mentor for another club. Toastmasters gave me a lot, and now I want to give it back. So here is your revised phrase or a paragraph that is more impactful, in my opinion. Filler words, 2%, 2 fillers, not bad. Inclusiveness is something that is becoming more relevant in today's world, where we need to be careful of what kind of words we use. So far, we did not use any non-inclusive words. Top keywords are highlighted, weak words are highlighted, so, actually, and very. And more important for me is this part. When you do a team meeting like Zoom, you get a new tab called listening. And this graph gives us an idea of who participated in this meeting. And this is for me a really cool thing, because just by looking at it, I can see now in that 8 minutes, trainer Cajetan spoke or dominated about maybe 20%. But then I can see that Imran spoke. This is the Imran, this is Gokul, this is Vaishnavi, and Sandeep Raj. And then Mayuri. So you can see how each one spoke, and imagine if you had done it for 2 hours, you would know what was the participation level in your Zoom meeting. Isn't that cool? I think it is. Yeah. Similarly, you can look at the delivery of each person. So let me look at Mayuri. 154 words. It means you're still speaking fast, right?
I still have to slow down.
Okay, let's look at Sandeep. 154, 165. Okay. Imran Khan, 127. Perfect, I think. This is a good rate. Gokul, 143. And Vaishnavi spoke very fast. I have to listen to that maybe. 183. Let's look at that. Vaishnavi. I think, where was that?
Vaishnavi was the third speaker, I believe.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, this is the one. You can see the rate. All ready to go next?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please. Tell us how Toastmasters has helped you.
Greetings, everyone. I am Toastmaster Vaishnavi, and I am in my university right now. In the first year of my university, a professor of mine informed me that Toastmasters is a platform that would give me a...
Yes, that is definitely a fast rate. But if we can understand you, and I did, that's all that matters. So that is a feedback for you. Maybe you want to reduce it a little bit to be in this zone, or you're comfortable where it is, but it is an objective feedback for you, something that would not be possible otherwise. I could go on for a lot more, but as I said, it's a very simple and user-friendly tool. Just sign up, start recording, start playing with it, and that's all there is to it. Also, if you want, please join this. I will post the link in the chat. We have a wonderful community where we can talk and converse with the founders of, or the whole team of Yoodli, the Yoodli Ambassadors and so forth. Let me select here and say invite people, and I will post it in the, copy the invite and post it in the chat. That's the community, and you can also, the app joining here itself is very simple. You can join using this link also. And now I'm open to questions. I have, I guess, 6 minutes left.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan. This has been mind-blowing, actually. And I know there are many, many questions that will come up. I do have a couple of them. So maybe I'll just ask the very first one, and then, or maybe I'll ask the members to come forward. That will be better. Please unmute members in this virtual meeting room. If you have any question, yes, we have a raise of hand. In fact, 3-4 raise of hands. I'll go with the first one from Laugh Out Loud Club. Please go on, sir.
Thank you. Is there any way to program specific filler words into Yoodli? Because each region has its own peculiar filler words.
Good question. In fact, there are different parts of the program, especially I think in the game section, the no filler game. You can put in your own filler words and start practicing it. In some areas, you cannot do it. But if you go to the game that I'm talking about, no filler game, you can just keep adding your own filler words and then practice and see whether you're using those words or not.
Thank you. Yeah. Can we go ahead with Imran, perhaps? I hope that answers your question. Yes. Right. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you. We'll go with Imran. Yes, please. Go ahead, Imran.
Is this the rephrase version? Is copyright free like the other AI tool do? The rephrase version that this tool suggests rephrase version?
I couldn't understand the question.
What I'm asking, sometimes the Yoodli suggests the rephrase version. You need to rephrase your sentence like this. So is that rephrase version is copyright free like the other AI tool do?
My immediate answer would be yes, you can use it without any worry about somebody saying this is, because remember, it's a large language model. It has just created the content for you. It has not taken it from the any source, if that is what you're worried about, right? It has just created it, or it has just rephrased it for you, and it should be copyright free. If you want, of course, we can give you more clarity on that, but my answer would be yes, go ahead. No issues.
Thank you.
Thanks, Imran. Avinash, I believe you have a question. Would you like to come on camera, Avinash?
Sorry, I'm not in really good position.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries. Please go ahead.
I really did not have the question, but I just wanted to very thank you. So thank you for this. I know how valuable it is, especially someone who wants to practice. And as a data scientist and AI engineer, I know how hard and how difficult to create such a thing. It's so difficult with so many people, and really thanks for this. That's what I wanted to express. Thank you.
Thanks, Avinash. So we will take up Cajetan's cue that he told us we should invite Varun Puri and the team, Isha Joshi and Sharan.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, for a district conference, why not? PQD, please take note. Yes, we have one question from District 20, Dinesh. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, DPRM, Toastmasters DTM Mayuri, and let me thank DTM Cajetan for conducting this amazing workshop. I don't have a question, just a query. DTM Cajetan, you presented the speech of DTM Priscilla, where a phrase, "Do you know anyone?" detected by the AI as a filler word. But I think this was the question or part of the speech. DTM Priscilla, if I am not mistaken, she was throwing the question to the audience, "Do you know anyone?" So how we consider it is the filler word or part of the speech?
So I mentioned the same thing. Sometimes if we throw out data for you for analysis, it is not telling you this is right or wrong. The only area where it will tell you improvements probably are in the pacing, or when it rephrases for you and say, why don't you do it this way? But the filler words and the other data that is given for you is only for you to look and see whether it makes sense or not. A classic example would be Priscilla was delivering this speech and she was saying, ladies and gentlemen, and this was flagged as non-inclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, that means you have not included somebody, correct? Now, whether you want to continue using that, it's really up to you, because you might think, and Priscilla was quite insistent, I want to use this sentence, ladies and gentlemen. But as you can see, she has not included the whole of humanity, right? So that is what it means by it just throws the data for you, and you can decide whether you want to take the suggestions or stick to what you have.
Right, great. Thank you so much. I still have one question. In fact, a couple of them. There were a couple of questions that came in the chat, Cajetan. The first one was, is Yoodli available on phones?
To a certain extent, yes. The team is currently developing an app for it. So wait for it. You'll get an app. Even now, if you go to the browser and go to app.yoodli.ai, you can to some extent use it. It's not very fluid, but once the app comes, that will change everything. But the team is working on it.
All right. And the second question, which version would you advise us to go on with? The one that comes with the through our Toastmasters profile, or going directly to Yoodli and creating an account there?
You have put me in a very tough spot, because as Toastmasters, you should go to the Toastmasters one, because if you start using the public one, maybe after a couple of months, it will say, okay, your trial is getting over and you need to subscribe, right? And pay a couple of dollars per month. That would come in the future, because as I said, no service can run for free. And AI, those of you who are in the tech industry know the amount of computing that must be going through behind the scenes. And sometimes we are loading, let's say, 2-hour video. Imagine the space requirement. Imagine the computing requirements to go through the entire 2 hours video. So it requires cost. It has a cost. Somebody has to bear the cost. Toastmasters and Yoodli have formed this partnership because they get access to over 200,000 members outright. And so that's part of the Toastmasters. And that would be always available to you as long as the partnership is in place.
Great.
But
Great.
the public version has more features, like the Zoom feature is only available in public. So my answer would be try both. Especially
as long as the other one is free, try both.
Yeah.
All right, great. One last question. Although I'm myself a huge fan, I've tested it myself, and that's how I came to know that even I got a suggestion to perhaps begin my table topic speech a little differently, and I wholly appreciate that. My worry, maybe a concern, is that would we not become too dependent, and we wouldn't even really use our brains. We'll just type it and wait for Yoodli artificial intelligence to tell us what would be a more appropriate way to begin, to structurize, to end the words, the vocabulary.
So that is more of an ethical question. And my answer would be, yeah, we need to use it responsibly. As I said, when I use it for our counter and grammarian, I'm essentially cheating. I'm depriving myself of that active listening skills, right? Yes. Relying on the AI to give me the feedback. But really, I shouldn't be using it if I want to practice my active listening skills. So maybe on that day, I'm not in the mood of practicing that skill. Then it's fine. But if you rely on it all the time, then we will be losing a particular skill that is very valuable. That is to keep attention while we are in a meeting.
Right, great. So thank you so much. And you know what, in our district, we have currently our contest for the international table speech contest and the table topics contest currently going on this cycle. And that's what we're telling our members, that do practice on Yoodli. You will learn a lot. It's going to really benefit you with the pace, with the filler words, the choice of words, the structure, everything. And then you still have your mentor. Reach out to your human mentor as well and get even more feedback, so you're better prepared for your speech eventually. So that's what we've been promoting.
Yes, and in fact, I would say they would work in harmony, because if you record the speech in Yoodli and share the link with your mentor, the mentor would give you the right feedback also along with the AI feedback. So now you have two feedback and multiple mentors, even to your family, something that was not possible before, right? Now you just record, just share the link with everyone, and they will say, hey, this is what we would like you to do or change, and think about that. So for contestants, I think it's a wonderful tool, and you could promote it in your district for your division and area contestants. Absolutely. Share the recording. If you want me to come again only to focus on contest preparation, I'm willing to do that.
That is
how
so
to use
very
Yoodli for
that is so very generous of you. We will probably take you up on that offer too. Thank you so much. Thank you again on behalf of the entire District 126. I see our program coordinator director is still there. That means he never lost the connection, which is good for us. Thank you so much on behalf of District 126. And I thank also guests from around the world who have joined us to be here. We are all here with the same common goal, to be better public speakers than where we are today. And thank you to our trainer, Distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barretto, who has been amazing in his walkthrough. I know there is more, I know there is lots, but there is still time for each one of us to discover Yoodli on our own. So thank you so much, everybody. And on that note, I would like to invite our Sergeant Arms to officially close the session.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayuri. Thank you, everyone, for taking out time on a Saturday evening for this session, and hope to see you all in coming such educational sessions of our district. And with this, I now declare this session to be closed. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. All right, I am now going to be closing. I have been taking photographs off and on. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Cajetan. We will be also sharing the recording on our video. Thank you for consenting for that. I'm sure we'll have more questions. And I know for sure, I can see my PQD nodding already. We are definitely going to be needing more guidance and more help with Yoodli in our district. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And I will be closing this meeting. I hope there are no more questions. No, that's a thank you note from everybody. Thank you, everybody.
You were a great audience, by the way. I was like racing to meet the timeline because there's so much I could have spoken, but the 1 hour just seemed to have gone.
We would love to take you on 2 hours. Let me see how we can work it, because it's a Saturday evening, so then we have to run. So yes, but thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe, take care, and we will meet you again in another session. Bye-bye from District 126.